This time, I'd like to call the February 21st special meeting of the MSD of North Posey Board to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Kavanaugh, please read our vision, mission, core beliefs, and high priorities.
Yes, our vision is we inspire all students to achieve their potential for learning and life in a safe and supportive environment. Our mission is we partner with our community to create a dynamic and innovative educational experience, empowering students to become educated, productive, and responsible citizens. Our core beliefs: we believe our community is vital to our educational success. Everyone is valued and treated with respect, and always telling the truth. An educational opportunity for all. Student-centered programs challenging and inspiring learning in the pursuit of excellence through a strong sense of pride. Our high priorities are enhancing the student experience, investing in teachers and administrators, fostering strong relationships among all, and maximizing our resources.
Thank you. And now we are on to new business. Our first order of new business, I'm looking for a motion to execute the addendum to employment for Mr. Todd Slagle.
I'll make a motion that we execute the addendum to employ Mr. Todd Slagle.
I'll second that.
A motion and a second. Any discussion?
Congrats.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All in favor, say aye.
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 And our second order of business, we are looking to appoint for the board vacancy we have. This one got really interesting in that we had a lot more interest from folks than we expected. And I'm gonna name those folks now just so it's in the public record. Mr. Zach Kleinschmidt, Mr. Joe Hish Jr., Mr. Stephen Stump, Mr. Rick Nightingale, and Mrs. Jennifer Knighty. So at this time, we'll be looking for a motion to fill this vacancy.
I'm gonna make a motion to appoint Jennifer Knighty.
Have a motion, need a second?
I'll second.
And on to discussion.
I'd just like to second, I don't remember what all been said there, but I would like to second that we did have a good applicant pool and that it's really encouraging, and hopefully that all of these people and many more would run for election at the end of 2024. So.
Absolutely.
We had some outstanding candidates. It was not an easy decision. They weighed a lot of things.
I do have a statement to make, but I'm gonna wait until we take this vote. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries 4-0. I had written down here that the amount of interest shown in this board vacancy was frankly unexpected, but exemplary of our excellent schools and wonderful communities. The board carefully considered multiple people for the appointment of the remaining board term of Board Member District 2, which does conclude at the end of 2024. We were truly delighted and humbled by the great choices we considered. And obviously at this time, we have chosen to appoint Jennifer Knighty for the remainder of the term. Jennifer's skill set and decades-long commitment to North Posey and our communities could not be overlooked in this decision. And also, as Greg said, we do encourage all of those who expressed interest to file to run in the upcoming election. and to continue to be active in our schools. And I do plan to reach out to each one of these folks individually. And I have the info for the filing to run for election that I'll include in that, so appreciate it. So this time, our next regular board meeting will be March 11th. I think we are looking to do that at the high school junior high library. So I'm looking for a motion to adjourn this special session this time.
I make a motion we adjourn.
Need a second?
I'll second that.
And we will adjourn the special meeting and we will convene for a work session. We'll mark that at 5:41. The work session is much less formal. There's no votes taken on that. We are going to start out with, do we have, we don't want
I think Mrs. Kissel's,
that's,
You make it like the history of.
if you're okay with
From,
that.
yeah, that's fine.
Can I ask, do I take minutes of this part as well?
we're gonna have a recording of it.
We don't require a formal.
Yeah.
So the trick is gonna be, I need to put stuff up on that project, on that screen, so.
What format do you have?
I have PDF,
Which is USB.
USB, PDF. In the past, I've stuck it in the side of the monitor. and
Yeah,
it's kind of
I
popped
think I
up.
can, we'll see.
However, we'll have to kind of go through the files.
not sure.
I think everybody may need to kind of reassociate their chairs to see this. Sorry.
To the front you
go. Back rowers, not your right. The good thing is everything's in a folder. So we should be able to.
It just
Yeah.
popped up. Oh, shoot.
Is this a touch screen? Can I
Yeah.
minimize this?
It is. Should it be under files?
So I feel like before we did something like this, but I can't remember. Yeah, probably.
Files, the blue icon, yeah.
Okay, so then this is the fun part if it pops up.
Can I do it again and pop it as soon as it pops up again?
Yep. Close that and
Gotcha.
I'll be ready.
Ready?
Yep.
What did it say?
Preparing for storage. We'll get there.
Do you have it saved, like where you could email it to me?
I have it on my laptop, but I don't know if I can mirror to this. Maybe we just give it a minute. Is it blinking? Oh yeah, try that one. Gotta flip it up.
That one would be too, like the monitor, like the whole screen itself.
One's media, one's PC. Oh, it's registering. It's just not.
Hey, media, your computer with me?
I do. What do you need?
You could plug the USB in there and put it onto your Google Drive, because we're on your Google Drive.
Yeah, that'll work.
Right up.
You're on your Google Drive?
That we were on her Google Drive, like,
Right there, before.
Yeah.
With the
But-
meeting.
but if she
But
puts
this
it on
isn't
her,
connected to that.
if you put it into your Google Drive.
Oh, save it into my Google Drive.
Yeah.
So I
I'm
think
with
it
you.
depends. Are we gonna start with the CPE or I just need to know which files to build?
Yeah, that'd be
Would you like
great.
to start with the CPE? That's fine.
Unplug mouse. Don't lose the mouse. Uh-huh.
Yes, it's still streaming. It's recording.
Look at it and point to it.
You already opened the sentence, so whatever else that is.
Well, I'll file it, I'll save it into my. And then we'll pick another one.
Let's just do that one for now, because that's really the, and then, I don't know if you'll have to scroll when I.
I don't know what.
Well, figure it out.
You wanna do it?
When I put in a Google Drive, it shows up.
It's a long song for you.
So we brought him breakup. Yeah, my drive.
Of course, always appreciate it.
Steve Angel.
Jennifer, you know, for the record, I did not know you were coming.
Oh, okay.
You would have
No
had,
big deal.
you would have had a separate screen.
Yeah.
No one
No, it's right now.
part of this.
Right there.
No big deal. We'll make it work.
Okay.
I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
I always say that's recent. Go to
They should have
recent.
already had this pulled up.
Yeah. No, but if you recent, it should show.
They're good.
No.
Where did she put it?
It's in the one that says board packet. Here, I'll do yours.
Oh, there it is. It's the top one. Yep.
Yeah.
Way to go, Kate.
There we go.
All right. It wouldn't be a meeting without technical difficulties, right? Here we go. Okay, so I'm Jennifer Kissel. I'm an architect at Hafer. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of history of kind of where we came from, and then a little rundown of kind of where we are right now with the CTE project. So we've been working on the 2024 bond projects for probably a little over 2 years now, really trying to identify, what the needs are at each school. So we've toured the schools, we've gone back, had a lot of conversations. And then I know right now the conversation starts to be, where all the projects start to outline. So the first one we're on is the CTE, which is at North Posey. It's Career and Tech. So if you're familiar with the high school, so this is the existing ag shop right here. And then this is the welding, this is construction. And then this area over here historically was a classroom, but now it's being used for storage and maintenance in that area. So that kind of familiarizes you with the area. And this is the existing art room right now. So if you look between these two things, the white is the area that we're starting to look at redefining and doing a renovation on. And the gray is everything that's going to be existing to remain. So if that kind of gives you an idea of where we are with this. If you can flip to the next one, I don't know. I don't want to touch it. I don't know what happened while it's working. So this next plan is just an overview of what the plan is now. So again, the gray is the existing to remain, and then we've really tried to identify the areas by color. So with the main concern, what we did is we met with, I got to kind of back up here. So we met with all the people who are using the areas, because at the end of the day, this needs to function for them and how things really work with their classroom, their flow, their kids. It's really all about the kids. So what we did is we turned around and looked at, okay, what are the needs for going forward? So if you look at these little dash lines, it's showing the demolition that we're showing on the area. And then it kind of still outlines the green is all dedicated to ag. This area is the welding, and then this area is the construction technologies. Currently, engineering is housed in these two classrooms. And from conversations, there's a lot of disconnect between the two rooms. And then what the desire was for construction and welding was to be able to have a dedicated classroom to try to keep the mess in their workspaces and then have classrooms. So through those conversations, we also identified that a lot of the schools have storage needs. And so right now they have furniture, things like that, and maybe like areas that they don't really need to be storing it. So how could we increase maybe one central location so that toilet paper and all of your necessities are all located in one location. So we looked at taking maintenance out of this general area, and you'll see in the next slide that we've identified a location for a new maintenance area. Don't slide quite yet. But then this allows us to take the engineering out of this area, relocate it into, it is the junior high wing, but it's still engineering area, and then be able to reuse classroom space for classroom space. So you can flip to the next one. So the next one is the actual floor plan of kind of, it's not really, it's a mix between a floor plan and a bubble diagram. So it's still showing adjacencies. So this is the existing corridor. What we've done is, so within the ag area, so one of the things that they do is they do teach, they do more like food science. And so one of the needs was a bigger kitchen. And so we've identified how we could incorporate that into this area. And then they still need an office, so kept that. We focused on trying to maintain as many. Uh-oh, did I touch that? I think it was me. I should probably keep my fingers back a little bit. You can go to the third sheet. Yeah, this one. So we tried to keep as many, and if you see the dashes in here, that means it's a bearing wall. So we really focused on what can we do with these areas to make them efficient and flow for what's needed for the spaces, but still try to minimize the amount of work in these spaces. What I was saying is the ag area here, we've kind of relayed out this, so it would still remain an ag classroom. This whole agriculture shop would get reworked, clean it up, look at the types of equipment that's in there. And then this janitor storage area, currently the existing tractors housed in there, and that area could be used for everyday like toilet paper and things like that, so that they wouldn't have to always go out to this outbuilding that would serve all the schools. This would remain storage to serve for ag. And then the welding shop would remain, it would get a facelift, but it would remain in the same area, adding some fans, cleaning it up. And then there's an existing connection between here. We would add a roll-up door so that if there ever was something that needed to be moved between these two areas, that would function. And then being able to have the flow, so the kids would come down the classroom into the welding area, and then they would enter through this corridor into this classroom. So that really kind of keeps a buffer between the existing welding area. They can come in here, do their learning, and then be able to still connect out to the welding shop. It also, right now, what happens with the construction shop is the kids come in, they go through here, and to enter construction, they have to walk through the welding shop. Well, if somebody's in there working, then it becomes somewhat of a distraction. And so by adding a wall here, we're able to connect a corridor here. So then the classroom becomes completely separate. This area back here is currently, it's not really used very efficiently. There's some old paint booths and things like that. Things that all need to just get a refresh. And then one thing they do have back there is some lockers. So this connector corridor here would allow for lockers, and then the construction shop could be completely separate so that you don't have kids going through the shop. Oh, I did it again. So you don't have kids going through the shop and then just maybe touching tools and things like that. Another need they had was an area for storage. And so we're looking at putting a mezzanine above here. And then also some of the other things that we can do here is right now, some of their concerns are they have equipment that is dusty everywhere. So we would try to keep all of that equipment on the left side and then have a dust collection system, and then keep the things that are a little cleaner on the right side of the construction shop. And then the engineering classroom. So we're showing a division here, but there really wouldn't be a wall. The nice thing about this is it could be a really movable space. And so they would have some work tables over here, a sink, and then whiteboards here with some TVs above, and then also have some countertop over here for some work areas. They also have a nice overhead door. So if they're working on any kind of bigger equipment, that allows them to come in. And then they already have some storage areas here, so they'd be able to store some things in there. So if you want to go to the next slide. So when we looked at the site to identify a place that we could put a storage maintenance shop, this was somewhat of the area that was identified. So right now, these are just more of a bubble diagram. We haven't really, we've met with Danny and talked through the different needs and things like that, but we haven't gone back through, and that's our next step, is to really identify what size this really needs to be and right size it. But this would allow a parking lot to extend over here, which a lot of times there's some a need for parking in this area. And then also part of this maintenance shop would be some restrooms that would be able to serve the soccer fields and the baseball fields, or the softball field, sorry. And then depending on how we start to lay this out, then it could be in the future, it could also have some extended parking or something along those lines. So that's really in its infancy, but it's really the direction we've started. And so that's what I have here for the CTE space. And then I know here's some views. This is a view of the current practice football field. So this would remain. One nice thing it would allow is to have parking right next to that basketball court. So these were just two views that kind of showed that location. And what this maintenance shop would allow is for one central location for all materials to be stored, and then each one of the schools will come get what they need as they need it, instead of having to have everything stored at their individual schools. So that hopefully would allow you to have some more space in the existing buildings. So are there any questions about, I kind of went through that fast, might have left out some things, or anybody have any questions? Okay. So that's where we are with this, and I think next steps, do you want me to talk through anything else? Or?
I think there's questions about the South Terrace project, the possible projects.
Sure, okay, so we need to grab a different file for that one. You drive. No, I keep turning it off.
Oh, yeah, great.
You may have to refresh it again.
Oh, okay. Do you know what I need to do?
That backwards arrow.
Oh, gotcha. Apparently I can touch it without even touching it, so.
Yeah.
Your sleeve, right, touch it. Afraid to get close. Is it a refresh again? Oh, yeah. I'm not hitting the X. I'll end up turning it all off.
There's a way to put those.
So this document is from 8/16 of 2022. So it was kind of the last time that we had really updated some of the bubble diagrams for every one of the schools. So you can keep going. These are by school. Yeah, so South Terrace. Okay. So let me grab. We're not leaving out any of the projects. Okay, so for South Terrace, and if you want to zoom in there, that'd probably make it a little bit easier. Just if you can keep cafeteria and, I don't know, we might. It's okay. I mean, if everybody can see it, I'm okay with it too, but I just feel a little easier to see.
Yeah, it is. Scanning for viruses right now.
Oh, they're not.
So double click. Which one?
They're
They're the same
They're
thing.
the same one. Nah. We'll evict it. Okay.
Should be like the third or fourth sheet, I think. The first ones are North Posey High School. One up from there. That's North Elementary. Yep, here we go. Okay, so it's a little easier for everybody to see, I think. So I'll just start kind of down in this right corner. So overall, what we started to look at, and maybe I should start in the center of the school because that really makes sense. So what we started to talk about at South Terrace is how do we gain more space? How do we make this more efficient? How do we look at this? And, you know, one thing that I know is one of the concerns here is the existing cafeteria. You know, what happens with that? Because right now I know there's a lot of lunches, how this all kind of works out. So what we kind of envision is, well, you can't really change the walls that are there, but what if, you know, we started to kind of envision a cafeteria down in this corner. It would allow you to have a new kitchen. One of the things about the existing kitchen is I believe it's original to the school. So this would allow for deliveries somewhat in this general vicinity that allows to keep the big trucks off of the existing site also. So this is the existing gym here too. So if that kind of gives you some location wise, it would be connected to the existing building here along the front of the gym. So then when the cafeteria was moved, that allowed us to kind of envision a new area. So this existing library we envisioned would be turned into a pre-K. And what was nice about that is you could also turn in that exterior area that's not used as quite as much into a playground for this pre-K area. It would allow you to have like a whole new market. And then this whole area would be turned into more of like an innovation technology center. So what was the library could move into that area and could be used as also flex space. It would also keep this whole area would then have a buffer to art and music to be located in this area so that the music wasn't quite as close to some of the existing classrooms to try to keep some of that noise separated. And then also potentially having a classroom addition off the north. And so this is somewhat of a very quick overview of the projects that we had talked about on site here. So does anybody have any questions?
So I think that's why we're here tonight, to highlight the importance of when the timeline for what's happening at South Terrace. Our plan for tonight, as you can see, our staff is here in full force, that we take a tour, that you see some of the areas in our building that are problem areas. We're going to show you our problem areas, and it's. I know that you guys have all been through the school, but until you're here with all the kids and all the teachers and trying to find space to do things that we want to do to carry out the things that we're doing day to day at South Terrace. By the way, I'm Donna McGinnis. And I teach sixth grade. So we would like, as a group of teachers, there's a lot of good things happening at South Terrace. I mean, if you read the U.S. News rankings, we're 34th according to the U.S. News. We're 18th if you look at School Digger. So we have a lot of good things happening at South Terrace. Historically, we have great I-Learn scores at South Terrace. You can see by the staff that's here that we're committed to what's happening in our school. And we just want to make it better. We're not here to complain about what we have. We want you to know that we're doing great with what we have. But we need some sort of sustainability in some of the areas going into the future. And I think that's probably our biggest concern, is making sure that everybody sees the importance of moving forward with some sort of plan sooner than later. So we have a ton of things going on, and we have a lot of people that are also going to talk. I think right now I have the people that aren't speaking introduce themselves, so that especially Mr. Slagle and Lindsay, maybe you guys may not have met all the people on our staff. So the people that aren't speaking on the tour, if you just want to take turns, introduce, we can start with Abby.
Hi, I'm Abby Solianich. I'm in sixth grade. This is my first year.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Jones. I'm an instructional assistant in the pre-K room, and this is my first year also.
I'm Julie Taylor. I'm the teacher in our Innovate classroom. I've been teaching here for 3 years, but been in the school system for about 9 years as a teacher's assistant, both here and at the junior high.
I'm Taylor Patton. I'm a 6th grade teacher, and this is my 3rd year here.
Heather Brandel. I teach 3rd grade, 15th year in the corporation, 14th year at South Terrace. My husband is the welding teacher, and he's super excited. So hopefully maybe South Terrace will get some as well.
I'm Kaylee Kissel. This is my 2nd year here, and I'm a teacher assistant.
I'm Faith Cox. I'm an instructional assistant, and I've been here for 2.5 years.
I'm Sarah Daugherty, and I teach 3rd grade, and this is my 4th year here.
I'm Pam Wilson. I teach 2nd grade. I've been a teacher for over 20 years, and I've been here for 5.
I'm Allison Wade. I teach 4th grade, and this is my 1st year here.
I'm Courtney Allman. I teach 4th grade, and this is my 6th here at Colfax.
I'm Ashley Grimes. I teach 5th grade. This is my 11th year at South Terrace.
And I'm Julie Kester. I'm the school nurse manager.
And that's for hiding back there. I've been here for 24 years, 37 in the classroom. As you can see, the commitment, the turnover rate at South Terrace is also very low. The teachers that come to South Terrace want to stay at South Terrace. We love it here, but the challenges that we are currently facing are about space, or about having room to do what we need to do to carry out our mission on a every single day that we're here in the building, which leads to Mr. Scherzinger, who's going to speak first.
All right, Wesley Scherzinger, 4th grade. So the first stop on our tour is this current room. Yeah, this is the art music room, the library, and then a resource room back yonder. So one of the things with this room is with art music going on, people shuffling around in the library, trying to find their books, trying to pique that interest. The kids in this classroom are hearing the shuffling going around 5 feet that way. The kids trying to find a book are trying their best to not disrupt, but it happens. The music room, and then as all that's going on, the resource room in the back. Kids are trying to learn math, reading, whatever they're being pulled for, just a little bit longer, a little bit farther away. So this is this room. Are we moving?
We're gonna start our tour. Yep, we're gonna start.
Are we walking to the?
We're going to the cafeteria next.
We're
going to walk. We're not gonna walk.
We were walking, so.
I know.
We're just taking control.
We love the room. Like, wait, I'm sorry. Yeah, been in there. Well, we're a little overwhelming.
Get started.
Yeah, not really.
I think the only way I'm gonna be able to do is end it and then start a new session when they come back in here, and I'll just splice them together, I think. I'll need assistance with that, with somebody or not. Okay.